Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie day trade setup for today. So yesterday was a good lesson for me in not trading the news. Got pretty hurt yesterday. I think we recovered a little bit towards the end, but still the small account is, I think we're at 19 and a half, almost 19 and a half. So we were down at 19 at one stage. Trying to trade the news, expecting the markets to fall, and they didn't. Anyway, we'll recover. It's not the end of the world. And I think the comment I made yesterday on this being a potential wedge, I think that's starting to ring true more and more. Okay, so we had this pin bar off the bottom of the wedge, and then we sort of gapped down into this area again, and then the buyer stepped in and pushed it back up again as well. We'll look at that on the lower time frames, but I think if you look at the Williams percentage R at the moment, it's coming back into sort of an oversold territory. If you look at my stochastics, one of them is to the top, but the other one is starting to cross over here. When we get that kind of crossover, it's normally a pretty violent move. It's actually more violent than a grouping like this. I don't know if we've got an example here. We'll probably find an example on a smaller time frame. So basically, when you've got one stochastic turning at the bottom and the other one turning sort of in the middle to the top, there's always an indication that there's a violent move coming. So I think long term, this is still the picture we should be looking at. If I can get my... There we go. That's still the picture we're looking at. Okay, so essentially what we're looking for is a break above the whole flag, so 52344, and that is going to open the way to 55197. Okay, anyway, let's see where the previous all-time highs are. That's pretty much the previous all-time high. Okay, and I think if you look, monthly is probably going to be a better picture. If you look at the monthly here, you do have quite a big inverse head and shoulders brewing as well. Okay, so let's just get to a lower time frame and let's see what's going on here. So you can see we're pretty clearly in, you can call it a channel, you can call it a wedge, you can call it a whatever you want. Basically, it's a consolidation pattern. It's been consolidating for this is the third, well, let's say 4 weeks now that we've been consolidating. Very similar pattern to what's happening on the Dax. We are below the moving averages. Okay, so we broke below, we came back, we tested it, and sort of closed on the moving averages at the moment. Oscillators are pretty neutral at the moment, so there's nothing to read into that at the moment. And if we get down to the hour, I think you'll see oscillators also, apart from the Williams percentage R, but stochastics are fairly neutral at the moment. We have closed above the moving averages at the moment. Okay, so I think the problem here is, especially yesterday, I mean, you look at these areas here, you know, buyers, sellers, total confusion, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yesterday was a pretty confusing day. If you made money yesterday, good on you. This thing just took money out of my pocket yesterday. Okay, so what we are looking to today is I would like to see a trend. So pretty much lesson learned. So I'm staying out of this until I see a trend. And for me, remember, I want to see price above the moving averages. I want to see that moving averages pointing up, and that will give me an opportunity to get in. If you look at the left here, this is the 12-minute chart, and you can see up and below of the moving averages like this, in and out, in and out, in and out. This is confusion, okay? But it's also an indication of something, you know, it's volatility, so something's going to stick, whether it's to the upside or the downside. Something will stick shortly. The big question is when. One thing that I do see from yesterday is we have got buyers stepping in here all over it. Every pullback we had buyers. So there were buyers. Okay, There were buyers, there were buyers, there were buyers. So every pullback there are buyers. So they're buying the dips. Now the question we've got to ask ourselves, are the institutions scaling in? Are they starting to scale in at the moment? Do we have any significant micro levels that we need to pay attention to? And I think, for me anyway, there is a micro level right here. And this bar here is a nonsense bar, okay? So let's not pay attention to that. But I'm going to use the close of that as the level, because if you look left, there's tails, 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 tails. Okay, so this to me is a fairly significant level, 51,485. Okay, now you'll see it on the hour here. It's pretty much in the same area right there. You can see all these tails here, tails, tails, and tails. I can go back even further. I know you won't. Dates will be scrambled. Okay, so we've got a lot of things happening there. Okay, the next thing on the hour is this trend line here is pretty much the top of our triangle right now, and this is the bottom of our triangle right now. Okay, and the key thing here, I mean, if we go to a Bollinger, you'll see we slap bang in the middle of the Bollinger. Okay, so we are getting a little bit of a Bollinger squeeze coming together, 3 hour, 4 hour, not so much on the daily, or a little bit happening on the daily at the moment, but nothing significant. I think the smaller time frames are the ones we need to watch, and pretty much what's happening on the hour right now. Okay, so personally, I want to see some breakouts now before I commit to anything on the Aussie. So I'm looking for breakouts. And I suppose this level here is probably something to pay attention to. 51,479. If we can stay above it today, that would more than likely signify a move to the upside. But we do have this fairly strong trend line here. Okay, so we do have a fairly strong trend line that we need to pay attention to as well. And looking at that, the confirmation is only going to come once we break above 51750. Okay, so I think that's kind of the short and sweet of it. Is I'm looking for breakouts before I commit to any direction. So it does look like the buyers are here. They're scaling in at the bottom. So I suppose if you really want to take a chance, I suppose it's not that big, 460 points, so you can scale in with a small position with a very large stop loss to account for any swings if we have another day like yesterday. But we'll have to wait and see. I think this could just be consolidation right now. If we look at the market yesterday, the Dow was up 0.65%. The Nasdaq was, if I can find it, Nasdaq was up 0.7%. S&P was up 0.6%. Rand dollar 14.14, still roughly hovering around that same area. And I think the important one today is Tencent is up 1.6%. So I think we are pointing to a gap up, and the big question is, what kind of gap up are we doing? Okay, so if I just look at the 12 minutes, this is not a fractal yet because it's a nonsense bar, so the fractal is here. So 51485 is your upside fractal, and you can pretty much use these downside fractals as the fractals to downside, 51389. But just be wary. I think yesterday we had opening range, break below, break above. We had fractal breaks above and below. If we look at the open here, so there were our fractals, almost the same as what they are today. You see, break up below, break below, up above it, below it. Proper whipsaw. And this kind of pattern, if you take your first half hour of trading, which is there, okay, you can see we're above it and below. That's normally a breakout pattern. Okay, it's not typically not as violent as what this was here. Okay, so let's go to the 5 minutes. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my first half hour, and it's down below, then above, below, above. I mean, that's typically a breakout pattern. Okay, so I think those are the two fractals we pay attention today. Break the upside 51485 or stay above that. That's long, and 513. 8 and 9 would indicate shorts, but I'd be very reluctant on those shorts, purely because of the strength of this trend line at the moment. Okay. So yeah, so I think we need to see a breakout. That's bottom line. I'm not touching this until I see a breakout. If we just look at the Ichimoku, I don't think it's going to give us any value. Okay, so if you look at the 12-minute, bullish, 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 we've had a breakthrough of the cloud. So if this stays, and this rings true for the breakout again. So the breakout is right there, which is pretty much a breakout of the cloud as well. So maybe what you want to see is a retest of this area and then an opportunity to buy with stops below. You want to stop below this 51390 area, and that is below the cloud on the 12 minutes. So now that's a bullish setup there. If we look at the 30 minute, we've got a bullish twist, we've got a bullish cross, and Chico Span's not through price. So it's 2 out of 3 at the moment, which is bullish. The hour, bearish, 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 everything's bearish. The 4 hour, bearish, bearish, bearish as well. So this is just why I'm saying I need breakouts. If I can't see breakouts, I'm staying away from this right now. And on the daily, everything's bullish, but we are between Kijans and Tegans, which indicates range. Okay, so don't expect fireworks. You may get fireworks, but don't expect them. I think you are still going to be stuck in this wedge pattern for now. Okay, so I think for today, you're probably still going to be stuck in this wedge pattern. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a big move up and then a move to come and close gaps and then a move up. The thing that is interesting me though is every time the bears try to get traction to move down to start closing some of these gaps that are below, the bulls are buying. Okay, they're coming in off the level, they're buying off the level, and they keep buying. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now in a row in this area that they're scaling in. So this pattern is very valid. So you need to just keep your wits about you and be patient, because when this thing does break, you'll be able to leave your longs on for a relatively long time, basically go and test the previous highs. Okay, so that is my 2 cents this morning. Word of wisdom for you, don't trade the news. Just ignore all the noise and trade what you see on the charts. Okay, so those are the 2 levels we're looking for. 51485, so long as that holds, that's our longs, and stop area is going to be below 51389. If we do break below 51839, I'm not interested in chasing that short. I'll stay far away from that and wait for some consolidation, if you can call that consolidation, before looking for another long. Okay, so trading with the daily trend at the moment. Not really interested in reading anything into, for example, the 4 hour. The 4 hour trend is down at the moment, but it's so messy with all these tails. I'm not interested in that. Okay, there we go. I hope that helps you somewhat. And for me, this is wait and see. I'm not going to commit to anything until I see something happening here. Yeah, anyway, hope it helps. I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.